Let's celebrate the educators who are shaping the future, one classroom at a time. This is the Champions Podcast. Let the journey begin. Welcome to the Champions Podcast.
All right, so good morning to all, good afternoon, and wherever you watch. So this is the Champion Podcast. I'm your host, Sean. So today we are very grateful for our second episode. We are going to talk with the founder of Global Teacher Conversation, Miss Atiqah. So yeah, let us invite her in. So hello, Miss Atiqah. How are you today?
Hello, Sean. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for having me here on the podcast. So glad to be here.
All right. So to start off, Miss Atiqah, could you tell us a little bit more about yourself and your background and what led you to become a teacher today? Yeah, can you tell our audience? Yeah.
Sure. First of all, hello everyone. So my name is Atiqah Nazir. As common Malays, we have very long names, but I would just let you know that my name is Atiqah Nazir. I'm currently in Cheras, Selangor. So I have a few stages in my life before coming to where I am right now. I will put it into episodes like before being a teacher to after being a teacher. So I graduated with degree in legal studies. So actually was on the way to become a practicing lawyer if I wanted to. I Instead of becoming a practicing lawyer, I practiced law by doing industrial relations at multinational companies last time. So I work for quite a few years, and then in the year 2018, I joined a fellowship called Teach for Malaysia, where I teach in Methodist Girls' School Klang for 2 years until 2019. And then after the fellowship ended, I decided to explore other stuff. But still, I'm still in the realm of education. So instead of teaching in the classroom, now what I'm doing is I'm investing my time into educator development, things like personal and professional growth, skills and capacity building. So after teaching in 2019, I was involved in program designs and projects like creating content for teachers and educators, doing modules for financial literacy, media information literacy, and other stuffs. Yeah, like Sean has mentioned, I'm also co-founder to Global Teacher Conversation. So that was founded in the year 2021. We started the talk in the year 2020 during the heights of the pandemic. So Global Teacher Conversation is a community for educators. So basically, during the time of the pandemic was a very, how to say, is a very sensitive and very speed up year for everybody. Like everybody needs to learn something new fast. Everybody needs to take up technology fast. Everybody needs to learn to convert their traditional classroom into digital classroom. And teachers are bombarded with all those trainings, all those technical knowledge and stuff. But I know all teachers, a lot of my friends, they are very resilient. They like yourself also. You also like a lot of teachers, a lot of educators take this as a, oh yes, you need to do this. Education must go on, right? Despite the pandemic going, because we cannot have education loss, because that will be a crisis if education is to stop. So what we do at Global Teacher Conversation is not really about supporting teachers with all these tools and technologies, but supporting them to create a community where they find friends, they find support, they find inspiration. because we believe that through talking to each other, through conversation, sometimes things that you think at first are very difficult to do, after you talk to your friend, oh yeah, I I think this idea is feasible. Oh, your idea is maybe something that I can do at my school. Maybe I can try. Or sometimes you think, oh, this is too much for me to handle alone. But after talking to few other friends, oh, we can share our classroom. So the burden can be lessened. Yeah. So
Ah,
these are the things. Hmm.
alright. So let me stop you there. Now, talking about inspiration, where do you inspire to initiate the global teacher conversation? Where do that start come on? We want to know the
Mm.
origin also. Yeah. Where did it
The
start from
origin.
and what is the core mission? So that more listener that listen to this podcast might want to join in later on. So yeah, can you talk more about that too?
Right, sure.
Mm.
Um, like all the cinematic universe, like all the universe, GPC also have its own origin story. Right. So in 2020, I was on a video catch up call with my friend Kichi Takahashi in Japan. So
Mm.
Kichi was a Teach for Japan fellow, like I was a Teach for Malaysia fellow. That's how we met through the Teach for All network. Um, but he's still teaching now.
Mm.
So during the year 2020, I think it was around after Christmas. So like one day after Christmas. So we catch up on the call. Um, we talk about a lot of things basically, like life and all of that. But most of the things that we talk about centered around education and how education have changed with the coming of the pandemic, right?
Mm.
So we were asking each other, hey, what happened to teachers in Japan? What happened to teachers in Malaysia? Have you heard about stories from your other friends? How are they coping in classroom? How are they coping at home? Things like this. So it 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 suddenly it occurs to us to think, hey, do you think we are the only one who are feeling the impact or the effect of the pandemic? Do you think our other friends in the education circle also feeling the same? So we're thinking, oh, we need to get to the bottom of this and see if other educators are also feeling the same, right? Like feeling trapped or feeling almost close to burnout, or they're feeling, oh, there's nothing more I can do, right? Um, or they're feeling, oh, there's too many things I need to do. So after after we got to talking, so Kichi reached out to another friend, so Takahiro. Um, so Taka ran an English intervention program in Japan. So we got the three of us got to talking. So we
Mm.
talked and we decided, hey, why not we start a conversation platform? Yeah. We don't want it to be so rigid. We didn't want it to be so formal like, right? So we want it to be casual. Like if I'm talking to you, then there's no one telling you, hey, your English is wrong, this is the correct grammar or anything. Then it will feel just like us talking to friends, right?
Mm.
So that's how we started UTC. So we put all the action plans into execution. And in February 2021, we had our first meet and greet before we did a 6 month long GTC 2021 chapter.
So I believe this conversation actually also align with some of your goals. Can you, if you don't mind, can you describe or share your goals? Okay, key goals and objective of global teacher movement that you two both created together. Yeah, what are the goals? Key goals. Yeah, and
Yeah.
objective.
So when we started to think about how get other teachers involved in our conversation, the initial conversation, we also think of this foundational question. So this foundational question that we asked ourselves was, if we could provide one kind of support to teachers and educators, right? What kind of support that we can best provide everyone with? So that's how we come with the structure of GTC, come up with the structure of GTC and the very system that we have now. And we wanted to focus on personal capacity building. Yeah. And number one is personal capacity building. Number two is providing a safe space where teachers can come as a community, exchange with each other, have a conversation, talk with each other, and collaborate using the network that they have in the community. Yeah, so they can either come up with a idea, like, oh, I have this kind of project, I'm looking for partner, or they can ask for other people's experience. Things like, I'm thinking of doing this project A, have you done it before? So you basically leveraging on other people's knowledge and experiences as well.
So any success stories so far, and what are the impact that you have seen on teachers and education system around the world, since you involve teachers around the world, right? So what
Right.
are the impact that you have seen? Yeah, in the movement.
This kind of words is really well, we will not say so much like an impact or a success story. We'd love to see it as a stories of growth. Because some of these programs are still ongoing, but I can share with you guys a few stories that was organized and hosted by our own members. So, like I mentioned just now, so members get together with other members to host new programs or do projects together, right? So, member to member program, there's this teacher from Sabah, and Michelle. Yeah. And Michelle, she collaborated with Amy in Japan, Saitama, Japan. So they both did a simultaneous classroom together for 2 years. So they shared their classroom for over 2 years now, and their collaboration is still ongoing. So a lot of it centers around exchange of knowledge and culture and also English activities. And then we also have Hayati. So Hayati teaches at college vocational Klang. Yeah, vocational college Klang. So Hayati and Divya at India. So they organize a program called Program SOCH, SOCH. Yeah, this is a cultural exchange program. So Divya student together with Hayati students, they held conversations and they exchange knowledge on cultures and heritage together. So that's another story. When I say growth, story of growth, like Hayati mentioned to us quite a few times that she started as someone who doesn't believe that she can actually speak in English. Right? I think this kind of assumption that we have upon each other, upon ourselves, really, is that oh, my English is not good. I'm not good in English, right? Things like this. But she said, upon joining the session, and upon the reassurance that everyone there is at the same space, at the same level as hers, she doesn't have to think that oh, she's inferior to other people, because we make it a point in GTC that all the educators involved must not have English as their first language. Yeah. So we don't have people from the UK, we don't have people from the US. So everyone there would not think, oh, my English is bad. No. Because if you think your English is bad, everybody also thinking the same. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Hayati has gone through so much transformation. Like from thinking that she couldn't hold a conversation in English to now actually collaborating together with Divya from India. And that was, a wonderful growth to see.
All right. So yeah, let's give applause to those teachers. Since we talk about success, I believe there are some challenges and obstacles along the way. So, what challenges have you encountered as the co-founder of GTC? Okay, while try promoting global teacher collaboration, and how do you address them? Yeah, we also want to know about this. Yeah.
Sure. I'll pick up two. Number one, although we say that we have a lot of stories of growth, and achievement from members, GTC is also a learning journey for myself as a co-founder and the person who hosts it and the person who designs our sessions. So the challenge was in terms of, I would not say challenge, but I would say experience. It gives me a lot of opportunity to, manage a lot of different kind of people, and also give me a lot of opportunity to realize that it's okay to work differently or be different. Um, for example, when we were working as a strategic partner for Fukuoka Girls Commercial High School for Let's Explore program, so we were in a team. So there are a lot of things like they do differently than how we do things in Malaysia, for example. So in terms of design, sometimes in terms of managing. So one thing I definitely learned was to sustain judgment. So instead of asking, why is your certificate designed this way? In terms of certificates, why is your certificate designed this way? I learned to take an interest into their way of doing things. So instead of asking why you design certificate this way, I learned to ask, mm, how is it usually done in Japan? How our certificates are usually designed. So it's a to me it's a lot of learning curve. Right? Oh, you're doing things this way while I'm doing things this way. Okay, let's see how we can merge together. And being in GTC, not only that we do sessions for members, we also do consultation for program design and project management. So in between doing that, you will see a lot of opportunities for you to actually help a teacher grow. For example, when doing briefing for participants, uh, maybe I am so used to uh, presentation. I'm so used to slide design. I'm so used to what information is crucial for an information deck. But this might not be something that is familiar to the teacher involved, right? So it helped me in a way to not put any judgment first, but instead, okay, let's see which part that I can share my knowledge and my expertise with, and to share this, not looking like, hey, I'm telling you this is wrong, this is wrong, this is not wrong, but how can I best share what I can do with other teachers?
All right. Talking about challenges again. Do you face any I mean challenges from the government or even government around the world? How do they see your movement, see this conversation, uh, or now it's just a new starting point? It's still new, or yeah? Can you talk more about that? Yeah, when it comes to
Mm,
government. Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, we're not we're not pushing our community into the mainstream system. Yeah, what we do instead is we're trying to maintain our community outside, but involving people from the system. So the members are actually the one who also share with other educators, and that's how other educators also join. Sometimes
Mhm.
they join after joining an event or a program. Like some new members come after they became panel interviewers for Aisha's mock interview, online mock interview. Yeah. So uh, in terms of challenges with the government institution, we have yet to encounter any, and instead we actually have worked together with Kulim District Education Office to deliver a workshop for their teachers in June this year. So we're looking into, hey, if this fits into what you guys want to do, then maybe we can work together. Yeah.
So are you welcome to more education district officer coming to find you
Of
guys?
course, of course, of course. We'd love to share what we've been doing, or we'd love to share the skills incorporated with conversation or just experiential workshop. Yeah, these things are open for discussion, and I believe that it is very important that we personalize the items. Like for example, if people in district office in Syrian, let's say, they might want a different thing than district office in Kulim, right? So yeah, we work on program design by personalizing.
All right. Now, from origin to challenges, now the most important, but I think it's interesting now, and even for our teachers now, is innovation. So,
Right.
how has the global teacher conversation movement contribute to innovation in teaching and learning methods? Since there are conversations around the teachers, and what have you seen through your community on this?
I
Uh,
would, yeah, I would say the innovation relies heavily on collaboration and the networking, because when they network together and they, oh hey, let's get together and do programs together, right?
mm-mm,
So they come up with ideas on what sort of programs, what sort of exchange they want to do, or do they want to share classrooms together, right? The innovation also tied, sometimes tied very closely to SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. Yeah,
mm-mm,
things like this that you can easily tie it on because you're talking about global citizenship, right?
correct.
So by collaborating, you have your students also communicating and having conversation together. They increase their level of knowledge. They increase their understanding about other countries, about other communities. That's easily an SDG on global citizenship, right? So innovation in terms of programs that's is backed leveraging connections. Yeah, they do a lot of this.
All right. So could you share some example of these practices besides just giving us the general one? Do you have any example like the one that you have gave us on the
Right.
innovation? Uh,
Right. I've told you guys about Anne and her simultaneous classroom experience with Amy in Japan, and I've told you guys about Hayati and Divya from the India about Project South, right? And what I haven't told you guys yet is about Aisha's international online mock interview. Yeah. So um, she was handling about 160 participants from 5 different states in Malaysia, and also one school in Cambodia and another school in Mongolia. So yeah, so we have 3 countries in one online mock interview. Um, so she reached out to us to get more people involved. So we have 20 international panel interviewers for that mock interview session from 11 different countries. Yeah. So using the contacts, the circles, and also the networks that GTC also have, she was able to turn a national level mock interview to become an international level mock interview. So yes, and mind you, the process also was not easy. But I see her like going through all the steps, going through all the corrections in the briefing, in the slides, and she's very good at taking feedback. Um, and I believe as much as we have learned on how to coach and mentor teachers, the teachers have also grown in a way that we're so proud of Aisha today. Um, in managing and also executing a program like that.
All right. So talking about just now talking about the innovation, right? I think that one also come in the course of technology. Since we are talking about AI, so we are talking about
Right.
AI, right? Yeah. Right. So in today's digital age, right, how technology plays a role, okay,
Mhm.
in facilitating global teacher collaboration, and what are the some key tools or platforms that have been effective for your movement? Yeah,
Right.
can you talk about that? Yeah.
Sure. As the name suggests, global teacher conversation,
Mm,
technology plays a very major role in our sessions, even in our general sessions, right? Because we need to
mm,
do it online because you need to connect people in Malaysia, in India, in Pakistan, in Vietnam together on a call. That in itself needed technology to get everyone on the same call. That's number one. Yeah, right. And then we we used Google Workspace a lot because Google Workspace allows you to collaborate seamlessly with other people, right? Because you can with one click of a link, you can become a collaborator. With sharing a link, you can edit together, work at the same time. So sometimes besides sessions, besides consultation for programs, we also do check-ins for teachers. So check-ins means, let's say, Sean, if you say, "Oh, Atiqah, I actually have this idea," or actually, I just want to, I just want to talk with you alone, like one-on-one, right? So that's what we call check-in. So during this check-in, you might be saying, "Oh, I actually have this idea that we can do like a sub-segment in GTC session." So instead of just talking about it, we we work together, use that as a work time. I mean, simply everything is on Google. Like you schedule your meeting is on Google Calendar, and then you work together using Google Slide, right? Things like this, and you put all your stuff, all your materials, all your resources on Google Drive. So you're simply um, utilizing all the I would say main Google Workspace products. Yeah, we actually do a lot on that, and we keep all of our resources there. And in terms of collaboration, especially when GTC is the strategic partner for certain program, this is where myself, I'm a big fan of Google Sheets for project management. Yeah, because you can you can utilize the tabs for a lot of things, and you put everything in one place, and everyone can see them. So yeah, I do my project management on Google Sheet. Like everything is there. The overview of the program, the agenda, who's like even to the task delegation, PIC, who's who, details, speakers and all that. Everything is in one sheet. And it's to me um it's really convenient and easy to and easy access for everybody as well.
Now, Atiqah, now when talking about technology, there are going to be downside, right?
Yeah,
And
of course.
we believe that there are also rural communities, not only
Mm.
in Malaysia alone, but all around the world. How do these teachers find you, and will, how do GCT work in this kind of teachers community where they work in rural area where the lines are terrible and is and
Right.
what you say, Atika?
Yeah, we understand this kind of limitations, right? We have members in Vietnam who is serving in I think quite remote area as well. And sometimes they will inform us that hey, the line is not so good today or anything. So usually what we ask of members during general session is that you make sure you turn on your video, turn on your audio, because what we want is as genuine as conversation as we can, like you and I right now, because I can see you, Sean, right? I feel like, oh, I'm talking in front of you. I'm talking to you, right? So that's what we ask from our members. But there are times when this sort of requirements, we a bit lenient on that when they told us, hey, my internet is not good right now. So they can turn off their video and carry on with conversation. I just using audio, and sometimes they also participate with chat. So we allow that. Yeah. But as much as we can, as much as they can, they will try. They will try to be as participative as they can. Yeah.
Do any offline community exist? I mean, aside from just going online, do any kind of, I mean, offline community where they
Mm.
they themselves in the community uh, hold on this GCT? Does that also happen? Besides
So
from yeah.
right. So besides from the teacher workshop that we did, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes members catch up with each other in person. So these teachers sometimes they meet up. Oh, you're in the same conference. Oh, you're in the same ladap. You're in the same training. So they meet up. So this is the time where they have their in-person meeting, but not GTC session in
Oh.
person. Yeah, just meet up, because we also encourage our members to, hey, if you're anywhere, maybe you can share in Telegram group, because there's a high chance that there's another member from GTC is also attending the same program. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So we did what we did was we encourage in person meetup, and then because after the pandemic, it was still not very easy for us to meet up, right? Because some members will be in Sabah, some members will be in Penang. It's not easy to coordinate, right? So for those who can, we also did school visit. So
Oh.
some members from Japan, when they were in Malaysia, so they will say, "Oh, we wanted to see like different kind of schools here in Malaysia." So we organized like, okay, let's go visit this school and that school together. So that kind of activity. Um, but we're also planning this December to do a learning retreat. So this December we're going on a 1 week long learning retreat in Sabah.
Ah.
Yeah, yeah. So we're going to cover 3 different districts. We're going to Tawau, Semporna, and then we're going to Kudat, to an island school. and then end in Kota Kinabalu. So there will be like activities together with members, activities like visiting schools, experiencing, becoming teacher assistant, doing classroom takeover, and talking with parents and students at an island school, things like this. Yeah.
So just now, I believe that is one of the benefit of joining global teacher conversation, which is going abroad and everything. What else beside that? Which I will be joining after this. Yeah, because that is thing. Yeah. So what
Right.
other benefits that GCT offer to teachers not only in private or public or yeah. What are
Yeah.
the other benefits? Yeah. Besides
Right.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. I must make it. I must make this main info first. Yeah. Main
Alright.
info is GTC is totally free. You
Okay.
don't have to pay a single cent to join GTC session. It's absolutely free for you to join, and we craft sessions. We craft content for you, suitable for you as a professional, suitable for you as an adult, suitable for you as an educator. And we don't charge anything for this, and you can just come and follow the session and have conversation with each other. Like I mentioned, um, it's upon you to shape your own experience. If you want to come there and have conversation, just have some me time, up to you. There are members who come there and like, okay, who can collaborate with me because I have this idea, or do you have an idea that I can jump on and join you with? So you can actually utilize this network and connection together uh, for your school, for your own project, for example. And you can make use of our connection. Like when Aisha mentioned, oh, we need panels. Like GTC will reach out to other circles outside GTC as well. Yeah, so that's how Aisha could secure those 20 panels from 11 different countries. Yeah, so because we have other networks outside of GTC, you can take advantage of that. Other than that, mm, yeah, so in a session, usually how a session goes,
Mhm.
we will have like an intro to the topic of the day. Let's say the topic of the day is about climate education, right? So we have that. This, and then we will discuss, and we also have this section called sharing space. So sharing space is open for anyone, basically any member. Let's say if you, Sean, like, oh, I'm
Mhm.
actually very passionate about AI. I'm very passionate about coding. Or I just want to share how my day has been. We give you 10 minutes slot to actually share with everyone. Yeah. So you have this like stage for yourself for 10 minutes during the sessions. Another exciting opportunities also is member takeover.
Oh.
So you can let me know. Hi, I think I want to take over one session. I have this topic that I want to bring to everyone. Yeah, sure, we can do that. I will like go with you step by step on how our framework is to fit your agenda. So we can do that as well. Yeah. So like I said, think about the think far and think wide of how you want your experience to be. We are here to support you in achieving that dream for you.
Mm. All right. So now talking about all of this, and towards the end of our podcast, I also want to know what do you envision, Atika, what do you envision for the future of our education, and how can movement like global teacher conversation shape it? I repeat again, how do you envision the future of education and how movement like global teacher conversation shape it? Yeah.
Sure,
So
sure.
yeah, all right.
Mhm. I've shared I've shared my thoughts with a few of my friends. Because I've done a program for students and I've done program for teachers previously and also now. So maybe we can also relate as an adult ourselves, maybe relate to our experiences. So when we tell other people, oh, we're doing this student program, nobody will get shocked. Or even better, oh, we're doing this student program, we need funding, we need money. Oh yeah, take my money, go, take, take my money. Right. Good, good, good. Anything for the future generation, we support you. See how many student programs there are in Malaysia. There's a lot, right?
It's true.
Yeah. When we talk about teacher or educator development, a lot of these programs are skewed towards classroom or pedagogical skills, right? Like during the pandemic, a lot of the support, yes, teachers are supported, but a lot of the support are actually to deliver a classroom. How to use Google Meet, how to use Telegram, how to use this and that and that and that. I think the gap that we can think about, this is definitely not, I would not say this as a disadvantage or what we're lacking. I want to see this as an opportunity gap which we can fill, right? So this opportunity gap comes in the personal growth and professional development of teachers in terms of quality as a person. Because we in Malaysia we aim to create a student that is complete with qualities of an insan. We call it memanusiakan pelajar atau memanusiakan murid, right? So making a human out of our students. However, we don't really give the time, we don't really provide the training or the kind of support that the adults or the teachers need to become that wholesome person first. Because what we believe at GTC is we need to be that wholesome person first, then you don't feel, this is too difficult for me to do. Why should I tell my kids to be a person of integrity? Instead of instead of thinking, how do I teach my student to become honest? I can become honest first. And because I'm honest, then I can just mirror what I do and role model, sort of modeling how am I as a human, how am I as a person to my students, right? Yeah. So there are a lot of opportunity gap that we see in terms of teacher development. You open SPL KTM, you open webinars, you open like courses on Intan and like that. There will be a lot say, oh, how to teach financial literacy in according to your syllabus, how to teach, how to teach. Yes, of course, how to teach is very important because you need to deliver in the classroom. But how to bring the best qualities of ourselves as a person, I think is equally as important. And these are the opportunity gap that we can, make an effort together as a community. And this is what GTC is aiming, to do for educators. What we envision is that we create an ecosystem where our trainings, where our support for teachers is not as imbalanced as us now. So there will be people who create trainings, for example, or in technology, in Google Workspace, for example. But there will be also people who teach you how to give feedback, how to communicate better with your peers at school, right? So GTC is that group. We're aiming for that.
So I believe that we become teachers because of our students, right, Atiqah? So do you believe in ethical access to education? Access for education for all the kids around Malaysia and around the world. Where all are yes. So if so, yeah, what are the steps that you believe that GCT can bring in to ensure that this will come true? Yeah, because I know GCT is more focused on teacher, but I believe that all of this will go down to our main client, which is
Right.
yeah. So yeah, can you tell us the accessories that you believe that will come true? Yeah.
Right. When we talk about first of all, we're of the opinion that education is a right it's actually a human right for everyone. So when we talk about education and we talk about access to education, there must be access to everybody. Like every kid, every children must have access to education, because the one primary thing that will shape them into the future is knowledge.
Yes.
Yeah. So we need to, on the systemic level, we need to think of what are the barriers to entry to schools, what are the challenges and barriers to access to education. This will invite a whole lot of different conversation, because we in Malaysia we have a lot of different issues when it comes to education and access to education. I'd love to talk more about it, but this is a lot longer conversation. Um, but I'd love to see that this kind of barriers. Firstly, we talk about it. We talk about it without hiding anything, without trying to, hey, this is sensitive, that is sensitive. If you think about it, then everything is sensitive, right? So first we need to be able to talk about it, and then everyone. Education is not just the work of teachers or educators or school administrators. We've heard of the proverb, it takes a village to raise a child, right? So that village is actually the whole community of the society. So you talk about parents, you're talking about district education officers, you talk about the state education officers, you talk about ministers, you talk about the uncle across the street selling pisang goreng, right? Everyone. So you need to have honest conversation first. Talk about all these barriers. Talk about what we have, our strength and all that. And all parties and all members of community, all members of society must play their role in, um, pay attention to what's happening in education. And also making sure that everyone's also aware of what's happening, and then in their own power voice out on how we can make access to education more feasible, right? So yeah, on a systemic level, that's what we can do together. GTC, what we're doing currently is to create and provide contents that make teachers and educators think twice about their daily practices. Uh, Questions, because we have prompt questions before breakout room. So they don't just go to breakout room and just chit chat. So they go to breakout rooms with prompt questions. So these prompt questions make them think. Like, how can we do education differently? Right? How can we make sure that nobody is left behind? How can we create a new experience in learning? Things like this. So even at one point we were talking about, how there's a workplace culture where we gossip about people. Yeah, right. That happens too at school, right? We gossip about people. So we talk about how to make gossip session productive. Yeah, things like this. So it's a change of mindset, so that the teachers and educators who join the teacher session could have perhaps a different point of view, a different perspective that they can think and bring back to their school, to their friends, to their family, to their children, the students after the session.
Now, talking about that, so how do you, as a co-founder, measure the impact of global teacher conversation movement, and what are your long-term sustainability plans for your
Wow.
critical and critical? Right.
Well, high level questions. Okay.
Yes,
Hmm.
critical.
Right. So we believe that everything that we do is a shared resources. That's what we believe in GTC. So every time we do session, like after the after the pandemic restriction is over, so all the dinners, all the weddings all restart again, right? So some of our members couldn't make it to session, but we have made it a practice to record every session so that those members who cannot attend this session can, catch up on the recording on their own, so that they are not left behind on what we discuss in the session that they missed. That's number one. We make sure that everything we do is recorded, everything we do is backed up to the cloud, everything we do is recorded, so that we have references for whatever that we did. That's number one. So that no one is left behind, right? Number two, in terms of long term plan, right? Um, we never have thought, it never crosses our mind that we come to this year, our third year running GTC. When we first started, we only thought like this is maybe a one-time thing in 2021, but it continues on to 2022, and then now we're in the midst of 2023 chapter, and we're already in the pipeline to think about what we will do for 2024 chapter for next year. And also talking about sustainability. Right now, what I do as a co-founder is to look into more collaboration opportunities, look into more strategic partner that we can, leverage knowledge together or leverage members together, talking to other co-founders or talking to other people. For example, those GEG groups leaders. So we are in talks to see how can we share our knowledge and expertise, or how can we share our communities together. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing.
All right, that's good. That's good. So now, looking back on your journey, right, as a co-founder, right, with
Mm.
Global Teacher Conversation, what are the valuable lessons you learn, and both personally and professionally, that you don't mind sharing to us as
Mm.
the listener and all? Yeah.
Right.
Mm.
Personally, I guess throughout the 3 years journey so far, what I learned the most is gratitude. Uh, because GTC is not the sole work of me or the other co-founders alone. I mean, we started it, but the bulk of the experience is actually the bulk of memories made by other members. So they are the one in conversation. They are the one who speak to one another. They are the one who join hands and do programs together. So as the co-founder, really, this is a, I would say, an album of memories. This is an album of memories, or I would say this is all the hard work and the effort done by the members themselves. To see them grow, because we have original members from 2021 until now. They're still attending every single session. So we we managed to see how different this person is, how inspired this person has become, and how inspirational this person became to the other members as well. So as I witnessed this, I truly feel grateful. I learned to be more and more grateful because I don't think like who are you people? Where do you come from? How did you become GTC members? Right? Yeah. So these are teachers that I don't know before. They are not from my circles or my friend circle. So yeah, I learned to be like very grateful and keeping being grateful and professional wise, like I mentioned just now, working as a strategic partner or program partner for other schools like in Japan or Nepal, where you have to manage yourself working with different set of different working style, a different working experience, right? So it's a matter of balancing how much you want to get involved and how much you wanna put your own idea and question yourself, is this your program or our program? How could we communicate better? How can we work better together? And also i learn I learn a lot in terms of because we need to see sustainability for the next chapters as well, for the upcoming years. I learn a lot in terms of sourcing potential partners, going out there and just going out there and just, hey, what are you doing like now? Is there any possibility, or just us working together, collaborate on what kind of program that we could possibly collaborate on? And Alhamdulillah, through that small talk, through that catch up talk with other people, um, we're actually slowly seeing a lot more progress in terms of partner acquisition. We're looking into we look at positive outlets where we can share to a lot more countries, to a lot more people. GTC is very small compared to other to other community. It's actually very small. Uh, but we don't mind, crossing the boundaries. Just because we're small doesn't mean that we're nothing, right? So yeah. So it's better to start small anyway. This is what we believe in. It's better to start small, and just because you're small doesn't mean that you're not worth it. So we have what we believe in, what our visions are, how we want to support our teachers. We know where and who the people that we can reach out to. So we're going to keep working towards that. Yeah.
All right. So, what advice now we talk to the new teachers? Try to
Right.
new teachers now. Yeah, thank you for all of that. I believe our listener will have some mission or thoughts after listening to that. So now, what advice would you give to aspiring educators? We
Mm.
those they are listening to this podcast on YouTube and advocate who wants to make a positive impact in the field of education. Yeah, what would you give your
Uh,
advice? Yeah.
I'm no one to give advice. I'm really no one to give advice. What I would like to invite, not just everyone else, not just aspiring teachers, not just community members. I think I would also like to re-invite myself. So I always remember I have to do this, right? Not just telling other people, hey, you do this, you do that, when I'm not doing anything. I also want to invite myself to do this. Um, so if you're thinking of a profession, right? Regardless whether you want to be a teacher, regardless whether you want to be a lecturer or an educator, right? there will always be a point in life where you need to teach other people something. Always. So if you think, oh, if I need to teach, then I need to be a teacher, no, you're wrong. Think of this. Every single one of us is actually already is a teacher. You show this small kid how to go to the convenience store. That way, this way, turn left, turn right. You're already teaching. You tell a person how to get on the bus, pay with card or pay with cash. You're already teaching someone. So what I want to say is everybody should play a part in supporting and creating a better education for all of us, not just in the future, but also the education today. Because if there's no education today, there will be no education in the future, right? Yeah. So don't just think too far. We can think far ahead in the future, but think of the people who are in the present now. So try have as much conversation as you can. Let's say if your friend is an educator, like ask them how their day is, ask them what their projects they're on, like Sean, what you're working on now, is there anything that I can do to support you with, right? So that everybody can get together, because I believe education is not supposed to be in a silo. Education is not just the work of educator. Education is not the sole responsibility of people who we call teacher, tutor, lecturer. It's the responsibility, it's the work and the effort of everybody in the society. Everybody. So everybody needs to play an active role, because our generation, um, our generation in the future will reflect on how we do today as a generation today.
All right. So thank you, Atiqah. So as we wrap up our podcast today, so what are your future plans and aspirations for the global teacher conversation movement? Yeah.
Right. I guess I can do a little bit of advertisement here.
Sure, sure.
Right. I want to invite everyone in the education ecosystem. If you're a teacher at any kind of school, private, public, if you're an administrator, if you're an educator, or if you're someone actually working to support educators, those people who are not so-called teachers, but they create program for teachers. So you are also educators in a way. Um, you can join us at Google Teacher Conversation. We're on Facebook, and you can also join us in session for 2023. We're still holding sessions up until December. If you're a non-educated person and you would like to be on GTC, yeah, you can reach out to me as well, and GTC. Let me share. Let me share GTC email here, so that you can reach out to us. We are also on Facebook, and you can look into our recorded session on YouTube. So if you go to YouTube, there's a global teacher. Just type global teacher conversation. On Facebook, you can also type global teacher conversation, and yeah, we'll be more happy to have you guys. I guess the members will also appreciate um, more people, more perspective, right? More point of views from different countries, regardless of where that your country is from. As long as English is not your first language, you can come and join us at GTC session. I sent you an email, Sean, if you can
All
just
right. So
show to everyone.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I will put the email at the description box. So those who are interested, you need to put the description box for the email, right? To
Yeah.
touch with Atiqah.
So if you want to join, then there's this link as well. Right. Let me show a QR code. Let me show a QR code so that it's easier for those who wanna apply to become a member. Like I said, it's free. You don't have to. You don't need to pay anything. Right.
Alright.
All right. So let's maybe show that for a few seconds.
Yeah. So to those viewer or listener that you want to join, right? Scan this code to join the global teacher conversation. So before we end our podcast today, thank you Atiqah for coming to the second episode of our podcast. Yeah, I don't know when this will release. Yeah, we see. Yeah, right. So thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for having TTC also.
Yeah. So who knows, in the future we might invite you back again. Yeah.
Sure.
We have a host. Yeah. So thank
Yes.
you all from us. That's all from Champion Podcast by Chen, and bye-bye.
Bye.